Folks, welcome to the Gyro Step, a Milwaukee Bucks podcast, proudly a part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and the Gyro Step Podcast Network. Sorry, I'm rusty. I haven't podcasted since last year. I am Ty Windisch. I am joined as always by my co-host, who thankfully pretended to laugh at that awful, tired joke.
I'm not pretending. That's
Rohan,
just
Katti. It looked like a laugh. It looked like a laugh. I'm going to take it as a laugh.
Disbelief. I wasn't expecting that.
Okay, well, that joke, not an all-star. We're going to talk today about all-stars. Before we do that, please make sure, start off 2022 right by following us all over the place. Podcast feed, whether you listen on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever else. If you're Podbean, subscribe, please. And if we're not on your platform, I can probably fix that. Let us know. Tweet at us at Ty Windisch, at our Katti Jr., at Gyro Step Podcast. The R's are on the screen. I think I need to put the show one on the screen. Maybe I'd finally get it right. And let us know, or email us, gyrosteppod@gmail.com, if you want to get your podcast player with our goodness. Also, you can subscribe on YouTube. You can watch the show on YouTube, Gyro Step Podcast Network. You can subscribe on Substack as well to find out every time we drop an episode and do other stuff and get Bucks stock market write-ups for every single Bucks game, gspn.substack.com. And I think, is that it?
Yeah, I think so. It's you did a good job. I'm usually the one that does plugs, but you nailed it.
I'm energized today, so I figured I would just go right after it. And then now we can dive into the All-Stars, the contentious part of the podcast. We are going to lay out the cases for the 4 Bucks who either have a case or in one instance are campaigning to have a case to be All-Stars in 2022. And then we'll share our teams for the East and the West. But let's start by talking about the Bucks. Rohan, I'll let you choose. Should we go most likely to least likely or vice versa as we talk about the 4 Bucks trying to get to the All-Star game?
Let's go most likely so we can get the obvious out of the way. Spoiler alert, Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be an All-Star starter.
Yes.
He's going to get a lot of the fan vote, as he always does. The only interesting thing is going to be if he's a captain or not. Last year, he was second to Kevin Durant. Is that going to be the same this year? We'll see. I'm not entirely sure when the first results come out, but
not yet. Not yet, for sure. But yeah, it probably will be pretty soon. We're only like a little more than a month away from the game at this point.
Yeah, something like that. It'll be interesting. Held in Cleveland this year, by the way. But yeah, Giannis is going to be starting. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's going to get a lot of the fan vote. He's going to get all the media and player votes. It's set in stone already.
Yeah. Usually I try to bring a cogent point. You kind of nailed it. I actually wonder if Giannis prefers not being captain the way some of his all-star drafts have gone in the past. But either way, he will either finish, I think, first or second. As we talk about the field, we'll skip ahead just for a quick second. We talked about before the show, there's only a few no doubt starters for All-Star this year. I think pretty safe to say the 2 in the East are Giannis and KD, right?
I think Embiid's starting.
I think he is. I don't think it's no doubt.
Fair.
But I think there's a different level. Giannis and KD,
yes,
duper stars, former MVPs on top 3 teams in the East.
Both leading contenders for MVP this year.
Yes. Exactly.
So, without a doubt, going to be starters.
Yeah. So still get the vote out. Get the vote out for everybody. I mean, let's why not? Although
it's great content when he's captain. So why not?
It is. Although let's clarify this here. All-Star voting probably not going to be a factor for the other 3 Bucks vying to make the game, as All-Star fan vote is 50% of choosing the starters, along with 25% media vote and 25% player vote, which should be hilarious as always. But the reserves are solely picked by coach's choice. And of course, the fact that the Milwaukee Bucks play in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that's probably a pretty good thing for the odds of the other Bucks making the team. As if it was all fan vote, I mean, he's having a really good year, but like Alex Caruso would probably be in the game every year. bowl, taco fall. It gets a little ridiculous going
That's
off
why
of
they had to
strictly
change
fan
the
vote.
rules.
It is. That's
It's
why
the
it couldn't
Zaza
even just be
Pachulia
starters
effect.
anymore. Yeah, exactly. So I don't even know. Actually, this is a question in itself. Who do you think is the second most likely to make it this year? Because I have an answer that probably is maybe unexpected.
It's Jrue for me. I
It's
don't know
Jrue
if
for
that's
me too. Yeah.
I mean, just zooming out, taking a wide look at what All-Star means, right? Let's just say it's supposed to recognize the best players. It's supposed to recognize who's the most fun, which is why there's fan voting involved. It's not all NBA. It's going to be different than all NBA. It's an event for the fans that recognizes the best players in the league. And if we're talking about impact, best player, the second best player on the Milwaukee Bucks this year has been Jrue Holiday. And I don't think that's been particularly close. Khris Middleton has unfortunately dealt with a lot of, whether it be COVID, whether it be injury, whether it just be whatever. He missed the last game due to personal reasons. Hope all is good with Khris. He hasn't looked like he's a two-time All-Star self. He really hasn't. It's Jrue Holiday for me. He's been making a consistent impact on both ends of the floor, especially when Khris has been out and other people have been in and out of the lineup. He is putting it together on both ends, offensively and defensively. It's Jrue. I don't think that's really, controversial.
Yeah, I agree. I think the per game statistics pretty similar, although if you dig in a little bit, that also there Jrue shines a little bit more. So Jrue at 18.1, Khris at 18.6 points per game. So Khris does have the lead there, but 6.6 assists and 4.5 rebounds per game for Jrue compared to 5.1 assists and 5.2 rebounds for Khris. So Jrue definitely racking up more assists. The rebounds are pretty close, but then you get to the shooting splits. Surprisingly, Jrue Holiday shooting at a better clip than three, which Jrue has shot well for his standard, 37% on nearly 5 attempts per game. Khris only at 36% with about more than 6 attempts per game, so not at his usual level at all. And then from 2, it's not even close. Jrue nearly 10 points higher, 56.1% to 46.4%. Khris does have a sizable lead on free throw, but Jrue has been the more efficient scorer, and as you've said, he's played more games, 5 more games played for Jrue than for Khris so far, 31-26, as we record on Sunday night. And I think just narrative, well, I know people hate that word. I don't think you should hate that word. I think there is some validity to some narrative aspects. The narrative just can't be a fabrication. I think that's where the issues come in. But I do think Jrue's play has just felt more impactful. I think really has led the Bucks to some wins. And, like the New Orleans game, even when they lost, like the only reason that was a game was because Jrue Holiday, not the last one, the one before that. So I agree. I think Jrue's case is stronger. And it's a shame that Khris hasn't had as good of a year, because I do feel like the guard depth, it's harder to get in as a guard this year in the East than a front court player. I think there's a lot of good guards up for consideration. I think the front court is a little bit thinner, and Khris is considered front court. Jrue obviously is a guard, but I think Jrue is more likely.
Yeah, and just you were talking about offensive output, efficiency, all that. Defense as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's often not considered the same in All-Star, although I did consider it. We're doing our picks, so in my picks, I did consider
the coaches will feel that way.
I think the coaches will feel more that way for sure. I think Jrue is one of the 5 best defensive players in the league. Certainly one of the 5 best perimeter defenders. If you want to remove, guys like Rudy Gobert, who are more so just on the interior. If you're talking about guarding out on the perimeter, though, I don't think you can name 3 guys who are better than Jrue Holiday.
No, you really can't. He's putting together another first team all defense type season, building off what he did in his first season in Milwaukee. Yeah, I think this is a great way to get into the field a little bit here, because like you said.
Whoa. There's one more.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
There's one more. Bobby Portis is campaigning on Twitter, and I think on the Bucks broadcast at some point, to be an All-Star. Bobby is having, hey, a career year on a very good team. 15 points, nearly 9 rebounds, an assist and a half, 48% from the field, 43.6% from deep. Really has proven a lot of people just flat out wrong. I mean, defensively, there are still some limitations, but he's getting better. The Bucks are adapting to help hide him more, and offensively, he's keeping it up. Like, there were some concerns around and obviously he hasn't signed a big contract yet, but some concerns about how important he'd be this year, revolving, like, is that offense for real? Is that shooting for real? Did Lethal Shooter get him shooting at a backboard with nails sticking out of it? Is that going to be a lasting impact, or is that a contract year thing? So far, it looks like it's just real, and this is Bobby Portis. He has been excellent. He's not going to be an all-star.
Yeah. I don't know if he didn't realize that the new rules that have been in effect for a couple of years now about fan voting not being all of it for starters.
Yeah, I think if fan voting mattered for reserves, I almost think he has a shot because of how fervent Bucks fans are about him. But as is, coaches, I don't think the 15 coaches are going to put Bobby Portis ahead of some of these really like star names. You can't vote
for your own players.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. No. But yeah, no. So sorry, Bobby.
Yeah, sorry. But we felt like we needed to talk about it because, you're putting together a worthwhile thing here.
Yeah, you don't want to disrespect the man.
No, absolutely not. And we support this. We support this campaign.
He would be the fourth most deserving player on the team to have a campaign.
For sure.
With Brook Lopez not playing, obviously.
Exactly. Well, which is why he's succeeding so much.
Yeah, those things are related for sure. But okay. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about the field. Yeah.
So you mentioned this earlier. It's going to be very, very difficult to get into the East as a guard. So let's talk about the guards first, because this is where Jrue Holiday is going to fit in. So I think there are two locks to be, I'm not going to say starter or reserve, but just two guard locks.
Yeah, and they play on the same team.
They do. It's Zach LaVine and Mr. Three-point shooter himself, DeMar DeRozan. Can we recognize this for a second?
Yes.
So what DeMar is doing is absolutely incredible.
I'm glad we're on the same page. I have seen some Bucks people hating on how much fun the Bulls are having. I think they're first in the East right now. Zach and DeMar look great. I can't even bring myself to hate on this team. I still think Giannis would squish them all in a playoff series. I'm not overly concerned, although I do have more respect for them than I certainly did before or at the beginning of the year. But yeah, these two guys are crushing it. And LaVine, it's not that unexpected, but I'm honestly happy for DeMar, although he totally broke my spirit in 2016 or whenever that was. His game-winning dunk to basically knock the Bucks out of the playoffs in the first round that year, that was a heartbreaker. That was the first moment I was like, maybe this guy isn't actually that bad in the playoffs. Maybe there's more going on here.
Maybe and we'll see. Into LeBron.
Yeah, it's not easy, it turns out. But those two guys rule. And yeah, the game winners for DeMar are super fun.
First player with buzzer beaters and back-to-back nights. The only other player to do with back-to-back games is Larry Bird.
That's a very Larry Bird thing. And as Stan Van Gundy pointed out, both of them coming when the Bulls trail. So even more pressure than like a tie. I mean, a tie game buzzer beater still rules, but these are like lose and you lose, or miss and you lose shots. To nail two is like, that's ice in the vein stuff. Best shooting guard in Chicago Bulls history? Should we have the convo?
I think we should. I don't know. Tony Snell might have some words for it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But I agree with you on. What'd you say?
Mike Dunleavy Jr.
Oh, okay. Now we got to move on.
But those two are locks to be in the All-Star. One of them is going to start. Both of them might start, honestly.
We'll get to our ballots. We
will. But some of the other guards who are going to be in contention there, Trae Young having an outstanding season, even though Atlanta's not doing great record-wise. Trae Young is putting together an unbelievable campaign.
Actually leading the field in points per game for whatever that means. Plus almost second, I think, in assists, like very high in assists too.
Yes. Bradley Beal having iffy season in Washington, but still putting up great numbers.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown at Boston. James Harden is coming along after his slow start. Tyler Hero exists. Fred VanVleet is actually doing really well in Toronto. Other than like Darius Garland leading the charge.
LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo Ball, our over/under on Ball brothers from in the preseason is going to be it's going to be interesting.
Kyle Guy, 17-4-4 in one game played, I think, but that's not a bad one game.
No, it's not a bad one game at all. Malcolm Brogdon is a serious option.
Yeah, Terry Rozier. I think the last one I'll entertain is Tyrese Maxey, and I won't for long, but I did say the name.
Yes. Okay, so now we can get rid of Tyrese Maxey.
Yep.
I think we can get rid of Brogdon.
Yeah, oh yeah. No one cares. No one wants a pacer in this thing. I'm sorry. No, none of them.
I don't know about. I think Fred might be there.
Are we sharing our?
Yeah, let's just who do you have on your ballot?
So I'm struggling. The game is in Cleveland. The Cavs are very good. I think at least one Cav should go. I'm having a hard time figuring out who it's going to be. So I have LaVine and DeRozan starting. I think they've been the two best guards in the East. And I think like the fact that they're super fun helps. Their team is really good. Like I don't see the case for any of these other guys starting over them. So then my first two off the bench are Jrue and Harden. I do think Jrue has the case to make it this year. So I don't think we've laid this out. So the bench, how it works, just like starters, it's 2 guards, 3 front court, but then you also get 2 wild card spots. So I'm sending 4 guards. I just can't decide if I'm going to sneak Darius Garland in here or not. But
4
I know
guards on the bench.
Total, yeah. Yeah, so both of my wild cards are going to guards.
Oh, okay. So 6 guards total.
6 guards total, yes. 4 on the bench. So Jrue and Harden. And then right now I have Brad Beal and Trae Young. I don't know. I really would like to send Garland, but I think I might just wait until front court to sneak a Cav on here. Because like I said earlier, to me, the front court options in the East were not as impressive this year.
Yeah, I agree. They're not very impressive, which is I'm also going to be sending 6 guards in total.
Yeah.
LaVine and DeRozan.
Nice.
Jrue and Trae.
Okay.
And VanVleet and Garland.
Oh, really? So you're not sending Harden?
I'm not sending James Harden.
Wow. I see. If
he
it
had
was
a
still
slow start.
He did have
He's
a slow start.
He's coming around recently, but he had a stretch there where he only scored above 20 points once in like 7 games. When it's this small of a sample size, that isn't really the type of variance you want to see from an all-star. Those numbers are getting up there. I don't think he necessarily has the same impact as he has in the past. Again, that's because of the slow start. He's starting to come around a little bit, but they needed him to he cannot carry this team as much as people in Brooklyn would like to think he can, especially with KD out. He struggled against the Lakers. I mean, given they did win that game on Christmas, but it's not peak James Harden type levels. It's not the James Harden. I was going to say that we know and love. We never loved James Harden, but I don't know. It's tough this year. It really is. I'm even wavering on my pick of Fred VanVleet right now.
Yeah, I kind of like LaMelo better than VanVleet if you're going to knock one of them out, if you're going to knock Harden out. I agree with you, of course.
You know what? Sign me up. I'm taking LaMelo.
It was funny because
my 2 wild card.
When LaMelo nearly beat the Bucks, I remember we talked about that guy's got to be a no doubt all-star. It's just I think it's a very tough field for the guards. I think there's a lot that you can make the case for. So did you leave off Brad Beal too?
I did.
For the same reason as Harden, basically.
Yes.
I agree that both of those guys have been worse, but I still think for right now, they're a little bit better than the young guys. I think probably it feels like now by next season, maybe I'll have neither Harden or Beal, and probably both of like a LaMelo, Garland, maybe VanVleet, although he's not as young as those guys. But if he has another strong year and the Raptors are a little better. But ultimately, I went with, the older guys still being damn good, and their teams being better. The Raptors are in 9th. The who else did you have in? Oh, the Cavs are good. The Cavs are good, but Harden and the Nets are better. So yeah, I see the case for sure. I see the logic, but I'm gonna stick with Harden for one more year. I was closer on not sending Beal, honestly, but for now I've got him on my ballot. I think he too has kind of picked it up of late.
That's fair. Again, when I was going about this exercise, I wanted to have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I want to send a Cav. They definitely deserve it. And you know what? I just don't like James Harden and Bradley Beal.
That's fair. I mean, hey, it's a fan ballot technically. I mean, I guess it's not really a ballot at all. It's just us sharing our takes. So yeah, it doesn't really matter, which is great. Yeah. Which is not stressful. It's the one nice thing of not being recognized enough to get like real media votes or whatever is doesn't really matter if we're wrong. It's just it exists.
Hey, it's fun. It's good content. But yeah, we both have Jrue Holiday on.
Yeah, we do.
And he's the best two-way guard in the league.
We like winning. We like Jrue. We like good teams. We like good players. So we carved out a spot for Jrue.
Exactly. Or a Bucks podcast as well.
Well, also, I mean, if you really go down to the bare bones of it, and someone wants to yell about why Van Vliet or Garland or LaMelo or whoever should make it instead of Jrue, you really think Darius Garland is better than Jrue Holiday right now? Because I don't. I don't think Van Vliet is better. I think Jrue is like the supercharged version of Van Vliet in some ways. Van Vliet's also a tough defender, but he's not as good as Jrue on that end. And
he's like literally supercharged because he's just like bigger, stronger.
Yeah. Well, in the paint scoring, it's not even close. And I think Jrue is better than LaMelo, even if LaMelo is fun as hell. I think Jrue contributes more to winning right now. I think we saw that pretty well on display for a few at least some playoff rounds last year, and certainly in the finals. So yeah, I think Jrue has a strong case. I think he should go. And I think he will go. I think Jrue is the kind of player coaches really love.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone, even the players love him.
Yeah.
And like, I know they don't get a vote for reserves, but it's just he has that recognition throughout the league.
Did you see the Towns thing?
I did see the Towns.
Towns gave him some props for that. Karl Towns come to the Bucks, but
yeah, and I don't know. It's just it feels like he needs some recognition because even though he's a champ, he's a gold medalist, he's never really gotten the individual accolades. Like he's still only a one-time All-Star from his time in Philly.
Yeah, Philly years ago.
Like, come on, give this man deserves more than one All-Star appearance.
Absolutely. So let's get him in. So again, it doesn't matter as much, but keep up the Jrue Holiday votes for sure, and the Giannis. The Giannis one's probably going to end up being most important, but I think just getting a broader Jrue Holiday appreciation will be good for his case regardless.
For sure. Does he have, just a quick aside, do you have an All-NBA case?
Yeah, probably. Well, you get 6 guards, so is he one of the best 6 guards in the league?
Yeah, that's the question, realistically.
I think you can fit him in there.
At this rate, it's going to be DeMar Levine. A little spoiler for later. Steph
and Booker. Well, yeah, I guess we are spoiling. But he'll have to be one of the top 6 out of DeRozan, Levine himself, obviously, Harden, Trey, Luka, Ja Morant, Donovan Mitchell, and Steph and Booker. So there's some big names. It's going to be hard, but again, that's strictly media votes, so star power not as important. Well, maybe, probably is, but
for those narrative-based voters.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to continue playing the way he's played the second half of the year, not the first half. Kind of a slow start for Jrue, which is why his points are still below 20. He's been more like a 20-point guy the last several weeks. I think Nathan Marzion shared how different his splits are the last 5 weeks versus earlier on Twitter. But yeah, I think he's got a shot. He's going to have to play this well for the rest of the year, though.
Yeah, he will. It's just an interesting thing to looking forward. So I guess it's time for front court spots.
Yep.
This is where Khris and Bobby come into play.
And Giannis, too.
Yes, and Giannis.
More prominently.
We already penciled in 2 guys in the starting front court spot, and that's Giannis and Durant.
We can pencil in the third. We can do it. Here's the thing. Here's why I said maybe. I don't think it's been a super. He's been good. I just don't think it's the most convincing Embiid year. Like, he's not that far away from some of the other guys statistically. The Sixers are only in 6th, fittingly. But looking at it, yeah, I don't think there's anyone who really is going to push him. So let's just say the starters.
So you're not penciling him in, but penciling
I am now. I'm changing. I just said I'm not as convinced by him, but I don't think there's anyone else there who's like making me say, oh, no, that guy instead.
Yeah.
I think there's, if we're tiering the starters, it's Katti and Giannis, and then it's Embiid.
Yes, I agree.
And then it's everyone else for the bench spots.
Okay. So we already revealed that both of our wildcard spots are guards. So we only have 3 front court spots left. And there's a reason that we both chose guards, because the field is something for front court spots in the Eastern Conference. You got guys like Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Pascal Siakam,
Jeremy
Julius
Grant. Don't even say Randall. Don't even no to Randall.
Guys, I think that illustrates my point.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Franz Wagner is like on the top 5 lines of players.
Is he really?
The 6th. He's on the 6th line at 15-4. And this is just by points, but
fair. But yeah, Jeremy Grant, he is hurt, so he's going to be missing a lot of games. So I don't know if he's going to really have a shot to make it. Only played 24 games thus far. Yeah, it's just not a lot of inspiring names here. Like,
no.
Who are your 3?
Well, we get 3. That's right. So I'm boring. I have Tatum and Butler. I just think they're deserving. I think they're good. Tatum's team kind of stinks, but he's really good. Not as good as some people think, but he is quite good. And Butler is really good. He doesn't shoot anymore, but his team rocks. He's a force of nature. They're both strong two-way players, so I think those two I slid in pretty quickly. And again, I looked at him to start, but I think Embiid is on a slightly different level than those guys. And then I really wanted to do Khris. I think Khris is not that far out, but really just has not had an inspiring year. Like, I think Khris over like Siakam, and then OG is listed with him too. Those guys both scoring near 20, but they haven't played very much. Randle not having a good year. Bam Adebayo just missing a ton of time. Like, Miles Bridges is pretty far up here. Kind of has a case, honestly. But I have Tatum, Butler, and then I went ahead and put in Jared Allen to be my Cav for the game in Cleveland. I think it's hard right now to pick who's the best out of their 3 best players, but I think there's a good case for him. I think he's at like 17 and 10 for averages, nearly 11, nearly 2 assists. He's probably their best two-way player. Evan Mobley having a hell of a year. Just don't think he's there yet. He's super fun. Easily first team all rookie. Probably rookie of the year, honestly. But yeah, my 3 are Tatum, Butler, and then Jared Allen. So I left off Khris. I was going to put him in. I would love to put him in. It's just, I don't know. I know he's had the 20-point streak. A lot of those games not on great efficiency. I don't know.
Highlighting a 20-point streak isn't ideal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just kind of,
you should be doing that.
Yeah. If you're, averaging more than 20, then that would probably be pretty easy. Khris is not, as we mentioned earlier, is at 18.6. Did you find a spot for Khris Middleton on your ballot?
No, I didn't. I don't think I'm going to do the same thing as last year. I don't think it's deserved, realistically. Like, again, a lot of that stuff is out of his control. He's missed a lot of time. So, I hope just he's all good for when the games really matter. That's at the end of the day, that's what matters for Bucks fans is playoff basketball. Don't get too upset about all-star debates on whatever social media platform you want to use. This is just me giving advice right now. Focus on what matters, Just let these teams have their fun. It's all good. Okay.
Okay. Do you have the same 3 names as me? No, you probably don't have Allen.
No, I don't have Allen.
Yeah.
So I have Tatum and Butler. That's pretty undeniable.
I think I don't think there's that much debate. The guards in the East, but overall in the East, I don't think there's going to be that much debate.
No, there really shouldn't be. This one was so tough. It really is very, very tough. I thought about putting John Collins on there, but then I was like, the Hawks can't have 2.
No,
especially
he's having a good year, but
yeah, but they're 3 games under 500.
Yeah,
which you can't do. Miles Bridges,
not a bad case.
It's not a bad case. I might be swayed to pick him.
19-7. A team's pretty good, but it would be weird.
Yeah,
it'd be weird if he's an all-star and LaMelo's not, though.
Yeah, if there's one player from the Charlotte Hornets who is going to make it, it's going to be LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
But Julius Randle, no. Bam, too much time missed. As much as it pains me, the last guy I'm left with is Pascal Siakam.
Really? Has he played enough?
I think it's not like an insane amount of games, but neither has anyone. And it's hard to take in games played into consideration. Like, he still played like 19 games.
19 games, yeah. I don't know.
I didn't feel great about it.
Good year.
Which is why I could be swayed to pick Miles Bridges.
I might sway to pick Khris at this point.
Yeah.
I think Khris is on a level here.
I don't know. This is tough. This is coming from me, a Khris Middleton believer.
Siakam's team worse, less assists, worse percent from 3 somehow. I don't know. Less games. I don't like Siakam over Khris. I didn't like it when it was an All-NBA thing. Obviously, the circumstances are different here, but I would prefer Khris to Siakam. Also, Siakam playing more, so the per minute scoring might not even be that much different.
But you were okay with Miles Bridges over Khris?
At least Miles Bridges' team isn't total ass.
I mean, those two teams are separated by 1.5 games.
Fair.
So I don't know if we can really sway those two teams. Toronto sits at 16-17. Charlotte's 19-17.
Yeah, I mean 3 wins. I don't know.
They're pretty comparable. I didn't feel great about it.
Yeah, it's not a good last spot.
No Sabonis.
No
Vooch.
No.
Who knows? Maybe Bobby Portis does have a spot.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what I am thinking? There is a shot, the post-championship high and gold medals for Jrue and Khris. This may be the year for once, a non-deserving Buck to sneak in. Usually, it's a Buck getting snubbed for something. This may be the year the coaches just go, they're really good. They just won a title. Just send them all.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Can you imagine the uproar if the Bucks have 3 All-Stars and the Bulls have 2?
I don't know. Are Bulls fans going to be mad? I feel like they're just going to be like, yeah, we're good. We have 2 All-Stars.
Yeah, they might be upset. Nets fans might be upset.
No one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares at all. Are they going to be mad Kyrie didn't go?
Yeah. Oh, we forgot a guy.
Who?
Ben Simmons.
You know what, though? Honestly,
might be a starter.
I would love it if Ben Simmons plays 1 game all year and it's the All-Star game. I would love that.
You know what? I'm changing. My official 3rd front court spot is Ben Simmons. Does he count as a guard or a forward?
I don't know. He's not listed because he has not played a single game because he's still holding out.
Oh, he counts as a guard.
Oh, no, not a chance then. Totally fumbling the bag. Bag fumble MVP this year, Ben Simmons. But yeah, so neither of us have Khris making it. Although I do think it's possible. I don't know. That third front court is very uninspiring. If Khris can get back to the lineup and just like light it up over the next month, it would help if the Bucks snuck up to like 1st in the East instead of 3rd. But there's a shot, especially if this year continues to, unfortunately, have so many COVID list entrants and injuries and everything else. We might have a few Adam Silver picks as well, although I don't know if he's going to pick a Buck.
Who knows what Adam Silver's going to do?
I still remember when he picked Kyle Korver over Brandon Knight. I've never trusted him since then. And that was a good instinct, it turns out.
It really was a good instinct. Who was a better Buck, Brandon Knight or Kyle Korver?
Brandon Knight. Not even a question. He got them to that playoff series. And that was a magical playoff series.
It was. Against the Bulls.
Yeah. Might be another one of those.
Coming back.
Might be another magical Bulls series this year. Although I don't. Something tells me it won't end in Milwaukee losing the clincher by 50 whatever points. Hopefully.
Yeah, game six at home.
Yeah. I will say,
50.
you want to hear a hot take?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if Bucks in 6 makes it until now, if not for that series. That series, around that time, especially during the Bucks mini comeback, that's when I remember hearing Bucks in 6 more than ever. And I feel like from there, it grew. And it grew and grew and grew. And then we got the Brandon Jennings quote. I think that helped. But I think more than anything, that Bulls series, I feel like it almost redefined Bucks in 6.
It might have,
I think
so.
so.
A lot of things.
It did. We got the first taste of nasty Giannis, which is
exactly.
Great. Yeah.
We got a Jared to Jared game winners.
Oh my
what a time. What a time.
Place is up for grabs. Okay. Should we talk about the West?
Sure. Let's talk about the West here. So we're not going to go through and make any cases for like Bucks players. You know why? Because it's the West. I don't know why I felt like I needed to
any
say
former Bucks? Who would the closest to an All-Star former Buck
Eric
in the
Bledsoe.
Western? It probably is Bledsoe. Christian Wood.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Probably Wood more than Bledsoe. But I don't think either guy is gonna make it. We don't even have any technicalities.
It's definitely Wood.
Yeah, it's got to be Wood.
He's just the first guy I thought of.
Bledsoe is having a
he
solid
carried
year.
them to he carried them to a win.
I know. I got a tweet over it. I thank you for sending me that. I think that was.
Did you get a tweet?
Yeah, I got it. I think it was James Ontario who let me know.
Shout out.
He said I had to give Bledsoe his respect, and I said no, I don't. I actually don't need to do that. Who are your starters in the West for guards?
My guards are Steph and Donovan Mitchell.
I have Steph and Booker.
Interesting. Okay. Tell me why. Why? Okay, tell me why you have Booker. I think we can just say Steph's case is that it's Steph and move on.
Yeah, that's fair. The Suns are still really good. And if you look at their production, everyone talks about, oh, look at Mikal Bridges is doing more. CP3 is out like 14 points a game. And they have not lost a step. And I think some of that is role players being elevated, and CP is still really good. But Booker now has also just become a skilled high-volume three-point shooter, which I think is really going to add a degree of difficulty to his game, or just a degree of betterness, I guess, more danger to playing him. I think he's really good. I think their team rocks. They were the 1 seed for a very long time. So, yeah, I think he's an all-star starter. Donovan Mitchell's team also rocks, and he's quite good. I don't think either guy is very good defensively, so I gave the nod to Book.
I don't know if Booker's the best player on his team.
I do.
I see. Here's the thing.
14 point per game CP3 is not the best player.
Like this is even coming from Suns people though that I'm seeing this.
That's fine. I think it's Book personally.
Okay,
especially for
Book has more production, obviously.
Yeah,
more production. But that team runs through Chris Paul and will go as far as Chris Paul takes them. I just think he's been the most impactful player. I know he's not going to have the stats, but it's still. I think they split each other a bit. Even though CP's production is down compared to Booker, I still think they take away from each other in terms of all-star voting. And spoiler, I have them both on my bench.
Oh, I don't have CP on mine.
Okay. See, if I'm not starting Booker, I have to have both Booker and CP.
They're better in Booker minutes than they are in CP minutes this year. Just
okay.
pure on-off net rating.
A weird season.
Oh, it's a weird season.
When did I say it's not?
Yeah, you didn't, but
I said now it's a weird season. What does that imply, Ty?
It's just I think they can win just fine with Devin Booker. I don't know. Fair, okay. No, I get it. And Donovan it's an easier case because he's like the one guy in the Jazz who's fun. So I understand. I'm not going to start a Jazz man.
He keeps leveling up as well. Like he's taking another step forward this year. It's just his ascension is just incredible. I'm a big Donovan Mitchell guy because he's a future Buck. So
yeah, I don't know if he cares that much for Utah. I will give you that, but has he leveled up that much?
In terms of his decision making, yes. I don't know if
Assists per game is the literal exact same. Turnovers, a little bit up, although he's playing 0.2 more minutes per game. So, I don't know.
Because he also has more ball handling responsibility, which is why I was talking about his decision making.
Well,
it's about eye test too, Ty.
Well, okay, but he's shooting worse from 3, but way better from 2. I don't know. Getting to the line a little less, but everyone is this year. I think he's good. I have him on my team. I think Booker is a little better.
Well, I do not.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty comparable.
Yeah, I think they're close. I don't know. I almost, the CP3 thing is weird to me. I feel like it's like taking credit away from Booker because he has a good teammate, and I've never really liked that. For MVP, maybe, but I think that's a separate thing than this.
Okay, fair. But I still think a lot of Devin Booker, not a lot, obviously, but a portion of Devin Booker's success is because of Chris Paul.
Yeah, and Donovan Mitchell's team is down there probably with Shea's team if he doesn't have Rudy Gobert doing all the defense for the whole team. I think you can do this for every good team. There's going to be multiple good players. So not necessarily all pretty similar for Steph with Draymond too. There's always going to be someone helping out because you can't do all the stuff. Someone has to help with some of the stuff.
I'm talking like we're making the case for Devin Booker based on offensive production. We're not making the case for Donovan Mitchell based on defense.
Yeah, but winning is part of it, and they wouldn't win so many games if his defense wasn't covered in such a huge way by Gobert.
Okay, but I'm also just talking about, if we're talking about all-star cases, you're making the case for Devin Booker based on offensive production.
Yeah.
And I'm saying a portion of that success is because of Chris Paul.
Of course. A portion of Donovan Mitchell's is because he's surrounded by great shooters, plays in a great system with Quinn Snyder.
Okay, so does Devin Booker. So
that's fine.
So that's even.
Sure.
I'm just saying, like, Donovan Mitchell doesn't have that other guy who's feeding him a lot of good offensive production.
And he's a little bit less efficient because of that.
Okay, agree to disagree.
Yeah, I mean that's all we can do. We can't win this. There's not going to be a decisive blow. I like Booker
unless
a little bit more.
those two teams meet in the playoffs.
I don't think that's going to be good for Don, is what I'll say.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like Mitchell a lot. Like I said, he's on my team. I just favor Booker a little bit, partially because I think the Suns and Warriors are in their own class. So I felt good about putting a guy from each of them on the All-Star team.
Oh yeah, and let me be clear. I do not believe in the Utah Jazz whatsoever.
Yeah.
I believe in Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, who are your front court starters?
Well, I think there's one lock, 1.5 locks. Like I think Jokic, obviously, and I think LeBron. I think he's slowed down, but
he's still incredible.
This is kind of like the East, honestly. The front court spots is where I was like, oh God, really? So I have Jokic, LeBron. I think my fifth starter might shock you. I don't know if you're ready for this.
Okay, who is it?
Paul George.
I don't know why that's shocking.
I feel like no one's talking about Paul George.
Because he's hurt.
Oh. How long is he out for? Is he out for a while?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh. Well, that sucks. I don't know who else I'm going to put then. Yeah, I just thought Paul George having a great year. Feels like he's building upon what he's been doing, and definitely a two-way player more than most of the other guys.
In 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, so he's not going to be in this thing. Well, that's a bummer. Well, I had Paul George, and I'm going to have to change it now. Who's your fifth? Or do you have Jokic and LeBron?
I do have Jokic and LeBron.
Yeah.
And my other guy is Anthony Edwards.
Wow, as a starter.
Yes.
Whoa. I don't know about that. I mean, make the case. Wow, that's spicy.
One, I love how can you hate Ant? I know you're not saying you do.
No, I absolutely don't.
Guy is just the absolute best personality in the league, and he couples that with just sheer dominant force downhill. He will dunk on everyone. I wasn't gonna say what I was gonna say.
Jesus.
But it's just so much fun. He's putting up great numbers on a Wolves team that's kind of frisky. They're still not great. They're 16-19, but he's really taken over and become the leader of that Wolves team as well. he's sort of like transitioning to being
I agree.
the alpha.
He is. He already is. The transition has happened.
So it's like if I'm gonna put a Wolves guy in there, I'm not putting Cat. I'm putting Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
And why not? You already mentioned the front court field isn't great. Like you're gonna get into guys like Andrew Wiggins,
no.
Harrison Barnes.
Love him, but no.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram, obviously.
I have Wiggins' teammate on my team, but on the bench. But I know a lot of people are making the Draymond to start case. It's just like he's been awesome. Do we really want to watch Draymond with the starters? Do we want to watch Draymond be the last pick of the All-Star team?
No.
Assuming Steph isn't captain, but yeah.
Yeah. I know Steph is probably going to be captain.
Yeah, so then Draymond at least wouldn't be the last pick of the starters.
Steph or LeBron? LeBron's been captain.
I think Jokic deserves it, but I don't think he's going to get it because probably end up being LeBron. Or it's probably LeBron or Steph. I think they're just on a different level of popularity. Who knows? We'll see how Jokic does. But I think he was my first pick for a Western Conference All-Star. Like, even Steph has kind of had a downturn in the last couple weeks. Jokic has just been great all along. The Nuggets are at least holding steady. I think they've actually climbed a little bit up the standings in the last couple of weeks.
They're fifth right now.
Yeah, so I think Jokic deserves to be captain. I don't think he will actually be captain, though.
No, he won't. But he's definitely going to be starting. He should be starting in that All-Star game.
Oh, yeah.
Did you say who your fifth guy was if you're taking Paul George out?
No, I didn't, and I'm having a lot of trouble with it because I do not like these front court options at all. I'm going to have to add a whole new player now. Yeah, I just talked about I don't want to watch Draymond in the game, and I'm actually just thinking of picking Draymond because I'm like the other. So my bench right now, I'll just do this, is Cat, Draymond, and Gobert. And Draymond and Gobert are not like all-star fun players, but I do think they've been great forwards in the conference, and like I don't care that much about what Brandon Ingram is doing. I just don't. I'm sorry. I've watched Brandon Ingram put up 23 points a game on good efficiency on terrible teams for so long. I'm just numb to it. It doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm not moved by it. I just don't care. I'm sorry, BI. It's not even your fault that the Pelicans wanted Devontae Graham and meaningless cap space more than Lonzo Ball, or that Zion Williamson.
They got Satoransky in there too. Don't forget him.
Garrett Temple and Zion Williamson is just like, I don't even know what to say about Zion Williamson anymore. But I'm not putting BI in the game. Maybe I have to pick another one now. I don't know who I'm going to start. I would like to just keep it as Paul George. I like Paul George so much more than these options. And like you said, now you're almost getting me to freaking Ant because I don't want to make Cat a starter.
Join me. He's fun.
It's
just fun. It's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, let's just do it. I'm looking at these names and it just, ugh. Yeah, what am I going to do? Aaron Gordon? No. Yeah, we'll do Anthony Edwards as a starter. So now I need another bench player. But okay, who are your bench forwards?
Wait, are they counting Ant as a guard?
I think so. I figured they would. Oh, you've led me astray now. Now I need to do this all over again.
I thought they were counting him as a...
Your team is in shambles.
My team is in shambles.
He's a guard.
He's like a combo.
Not according to the NBA.
Oh, this is so upsetting. I'm gonna have to redo my team.
Oh yeah. Can I just stick with Paul George?
Sure. You know what? Why not?
He's
not gonna make the All-Star team though.
I guess Towns. Or Draymond. I don't know. Gobert? This is like the most depressing field. This is the most depressing field. I don't want to have any of these guys starting. The fact that one injury gets us to Towns, Draymond, Gobert as the options to start the All-Star game, I find this very distressing. I'll do Towns. I'll just do Towns. I'm upset about it. I dropped a bottle cap for my Sprecher soda. I'm so upset.
I'm not dropping the bottle cap of mine.
What are you rocking?
I'm rocking the cream soda.
Oh, cream soda, Cream City. That's fitting.
There you go.
I've got the Citrus Splash. They do caffeinated now. I wanted a little extra kick as we went on here. So shout out Sprecher, who's partnered with both of us, and we have the same promo code, right?
Yeah.
Promo
GSPN.
10% off all sodas, including combo packs. So check out Sprecher if you want to drink soda while you listen to the Gyro Step as we drink it while we record it. But who's going to be your fifth All-Star starter now that you can't pick yours and I can't pick mine?
I hate this.
Yeah, welcome. Remember when you chastised me for just saying names? Here you are.
I guess it's Ingram.
As a starter?
Yeah.
Oh my God. The league, what happened to the great NBA?
What happened to the West? What happened to the front court? In both conferences, they stink.
Well, you know what solves all of this is, I mean, George, obviously, but if Kawhi is healthy, then it's like very, very easy. If Anthony Davis elected to play defense this year, it'd be pretty easy and is healthy, but neither of those things are the case.
Yeah, I guess I'm starting BI.
This is terrible.
Let's just get into our bench. Okay, the guards are more exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're going to pick 4 guards on the bench.
I am. I'm finishing my retrofit right now. Oh no, I need another forward. Oh, I need to add someone to the, okay. So my guards on the bench, I have 4, as you mentioned. So that's where I have Don and Ant as well. And to join them, I have Luka, which feels obvious, and Ja Morant, who's having a great year. I know the Grizzlies won a bunch without him. They've won plenty with him too. I think he rocks. So I was happy to put Ja on a team for the first time for when I picked the All-Stars.
Okay. I'm making I have to edit this. I'm sorry, Chris Paul, you're out.
Told you.
So we got Devin Booker. We have Anthony Edwards. We have Ja Morant, and we have Luka Doncic.
So basically, we just flip-flop Don and Booker, and we have the same guards. We have the same group of 6 guards going to the All-Star from the West.
Ja Morant has to make this team. He really does.
Yeah, I agree. I think he will.
I wouldn't care if Luka doesn't make it. But Ja has to make it. What Ja is doing, Ja is proving. Every time I watch the Grizzlies, I feel like I need to tweet out, Ja is that dude. Because he just keeps showing it every single game. He just went out there recently and he was like, LeBron, you're trying to lead a comeback? No, I'm putting this game away. Like, who does that? This guy is so young. It's his, 3rd season in the league? And he's doing this against LeBron James, who's still really good, by the way. Like, what is happening? This guy's incredible. Absolutely incredible. The Grizzlies might have gotten lucky to not get the number 1 pick in that draft.
I'm sure they would tell you they would have taken Ja anyway, but yeah, I think
I'm sure they would have.
Yeah, but yeah, it turns out being that guy can be a pretty big draft prospect determinant. It turns out it's good to have that guy around, and Ja is definitely that guy. So the guards who are missing then, Dame, which is surprising, but they stink. He's been hurt. He's playing now. He's getting a little bit better, but just bleh, very bleh.
They're 13th in the conference.
Yeah, I'm just not doing it.
They're not getting an All-Star. I'm sorry. I like you, Dame. But you know what? If this is what happens, when your team sucks.
Yeah, and I think the other guy who I really considered was Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. It's really good, but what are they? Are they 12th? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the same
record as the Blazers.
13 and 22. So if you're 9 games under 500 through 35 games, I'm just good. I'm good. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter how you're not transformative enough, clearly. I mean, the equivalent would be the Pacers, who are 8 games under in the East. Like, if you're the Pacers or worse, I'm not giving you an All-Star.
Yeah, obviously, Shea's been killing it.
I can't do BI.
Okay, so who are your front court spots for your bench? You have 3 spots.
Yeah, so I have to fill 1. So I still have Draymond and Gobert because they just rule. So I need 1 more front court spot. And I don't want to pick BI. I won't do Porzingis. I just refuse.
I mean, there's another guy who I feel like
Ayton?
I'm going to pick. Yes.
Yeah, I suppose. He doesn't move me.
Yeah, he doesn't move a lot of guys, actually.
Can you make a Jaren Jackson case?
Not really.
No.
I mean, maybe, but like, you're not getting into All-Star at 16 points a game.
I mean, you can, but I don't think you can for him.
Christian Wood, we mentioned him earlier.
No.
The Rockets stink.
They're literally the worst team in the West. He just refused to come into a game because he was mad. He got benched for missing a COVID test. I'm good on putting him in the All-Star game. Dear God.
Yeah.
Harrison
Jonas
Barnes is a
Valanciunas?
viable candidate. I want to throw up. Like that guy did who watched Harrison Barnes play.
Hey, no, don't hate on Harrison Barnes. He's a free agent, man.
You see, I'm not going to do Valanciunas. I would just do BI.
He could be the big forward the Bucks are missing.
He could be the big five if Lopez is really going to come back before the playoffs. You know what? This sucks. Oh, wait, no. Anthony Davis is not going to be healthy in time, right?
No.
We're at the point where I would just take him, even though he's had a bad year, but he's not going to be healthy. Now I see the case for the Wiggins thing.
It's
19
it's
points.
out of just sheer emptiness.
I'm going to do it.
You're putting Andrew Wiggins in
Andrew Wiggins. I literally said earlier,
God.
no, but you take away Paul George. I mean, Wiggins' numbers are somewhat similar to BI.
No, he's having a career year.
I know the shot profile is a lot different, but I don't know, Wiggins versus Ayton. I don't know. I think Ayton's probably a better player, but just in terms of all-star case, I mean, Wiggins is fun. He's bouncy, does a lot for them defensively, and now is scoring more.
I'll put a second Phoenix Sun on there now, which is why I'm picking
Ayton. Yeah,
my three are Gobert, Draymond, and Ayton.
This is terrible.
This sucks.
This Western bench, assuming you don't include George or Anthony Davis because of injuries, it's either someone on a terrible team or just someone who's like an Andrew Wiggins. Those are the
axillary
options.
piece on a contender.
Yeah, like a very axillary piece, going to be the fourth piece. Ideally for them would be the fourth piece when Klay comes back. We'll see how that actually shakes out. Or like Porzingis, who just absolutely not. Yeah.
Is this the worst all-star field in how long?
Well,
the guards are awesome.
We didn't include we didn't include Sabonis, so Nate Duncan says no, it's not.
Oh, sorry, Nate Duncan. I do not care.
Yeah, I'll never say sorry. Yeah, I just think the forward, even the East forwards, you could drop the next three guys we left out of the East forwards, and they would have a case to start. Jarrett Allen in the West is a no doubt all-star this year.
Oh, 100%.
Chris Middleton, easily. Who else do we have down there? I mean, Tatum
Julius
and Butler
Randle.
on the bench. Who?
Jaylen Brown?
Oh, yeah. Well, he's ruled as a guard. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I hate this guard forward.
Oh, Siakam, Miles Bridges. Bam's not really going to play. John Collins. I think I'd put John Collins over Wiggins.
Yeah, maybe, but the team stinks.
That's fair. Yeah, that's true.
This is just, I feel like there's such a dichotomy in the league right now between is this the most parity the league has ever had? No, it's not. We just came out of the Warriors dynasty.
If you mean right now, this year, maybe. But on the other hand, it's weird though, because there might be more good teams than ever.
Yeah, there's how many teams can you say are contenders realistically, or how many teams do you consider to be contenders? In the West, I feel like there's two. In the East,
I would say three in the. I'm generous with this. I'll say 3 in the West and 4 in the East.
So you're counting the Jazz?
Yeah, I'm counting the Jazz.
I'm not counting the Jazz. So there's 2 in the West.
That's fine.
and 4 in the East.
Yeah, Nets, but in order: Bucks, Nets, probably Heat, Bulls. Even though the Bulls are in first right now.
Yeah.
Heat, Bulls. I would like to get that
Bulls,
series. Heat. I would not mind if the standings ended somewhat close to this. I would like to watch Bulls versus Heat. Although I'd also like to play the Bulls.
That's also Bucks next second round.
It went well last time.
You're right. It did go well last time. This was much less fun than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think I blame the West. The East part I thought was pretty fun.
No, yeah, for sure. The West is just. Remember when the West was just like, oh my God, the Western Conference is so much better than ever. The East is better. East is so much better than the West.
You've got to feel for and I guess you don't really, but like the Clippers, if Kawhi had legs, I think they would be maybe number one. And if Paul George was healthy as well, I don't know. Their ancillary pieces are kind of off and on to me, but like the
Marcus Morris is absolutely dominating right now.
Yeah. But
Eric Bledsoe as well.
Reggie Jackson, who I'm not really that in on, quite honestly.
Yeah, and obviously the Nuggets with all their injuries.
Yeah, the Nuggets too. But then again, the Warriors are in first with Klay Thompson out for like 3 years now, so you can't. This year, I keep seeing this all the time. Oh, this team is finally healthy. No one's healthy. No one is healthy. Like, it's just none of these teams are going to look at another one and go, "Oh, I really feel bad for that team." Like, no, everyone is dealt with a ridiculous amount of stuff.
You know what team is healthy but technically, like, really isn't?
Who?
The Sixers.
Yeah, they're probably, outside of Simmons, they're probably, although Embiid's always going to be in and out of the lineup a little bit.
Yeah, but he's played the majority of the game.
Yeah, that's hilarious. The Bulls were, but then they weren't. But now I think they're getting back to
they got Pat Williams.
Oh, yeah, Pat Williams is all, yeah.
Like, obviously, the Nets might be, they could be considered healthy as well.
Yeah. I teased something to you earlier.
You did, yes.
I don't know. Do you still remember this? I told you I had a two-man lineup for the Bucks.
Okay.
I wanted to sneak it. I wanted to shoehorn onto this pod. And I don't think it's going to be an extended discussion. I'm just excited about these two players. So I want to pull up the numbers again so I have them. But it was something about the way that I just had this feeling. Something about the team is playing when these two guys are on the court together. I've really liked. So, this is the Bucks, by the way, if I didn't say that. In 10 games so far, when the Bucks have both Jrue Holiday, future All-Star.
Marcus Cousins.
No, Wes Matthews.
Oh.
Jrue Holiday and Wes Matthews. Do you want to hear some wild statistics? 84 minutes, which is not that insignificant of a sample. Like, Wes and Dante have a net rating of 67.5, which is insane. It's 21 minutes. Wes and Mamu plus 50, so watch out for that group going forward. But Jrue and Wes combined, 84 minutes. They have an offensive rating of 115.5, which is excellent, are allowing a defensive rating of 86.7 for a net rating of plus 28.8. Like, they are scoring at a very high level and absolutely clamping teams on the other end. And I know it's only, I like two-person groups. Like West is so new. There's the 5-man lineups are just going to have no minutes. But the combination of offensive and defensive prowess with those two is really leading to some dominant results. So I'm excited about Wes Matthew closer going forward. Because I do think Wes, Jrue, Khris, Giannis, insert somebody else is such a dynamic two-way group.
It really is. That's why we've talked about this before, but just the Wes Matthews edition is just so much better than we could have ever imagined it being, especially considering how much he still has left in the tank. It's just what you said, just it showcases what we've been seeing in the sense that Wes Matthews has been a dominant two-way force. And Jrue Holiday, we know, has been a dominant two-way force. But I did not really expect Wes Matthews to, one, be able to clamp guys this much, and two, keep up this three-point shooting. Again, the sample is very small. Like, it's not, okay, I'll take that back. It's not very small at this point. But
small, but not very small.
It's relatively small.
Yeah.
Relatively small. So who knows if that's going to continue, but that is definitely something to watch going forward because those two have been great. That's why we see the Bucks in these close games being able to get back in it because Wes Matthews has been a closer as of late, especially with Grayson Allen struggling, Dante in and out of the lineup and still, gaining.
Injured again now, sprained his ankle.
Yeah. In warmups.
Yeah, it sucks. They caught it on the camera. It's not great to watch.
No, it's not. It's really not.
But and also,
it's
sorry, 9-1 in those 10 games with Wes and Jrue.
Good.
Yeah,
that is good. Winning
bad.
Games at the end of the day is what matters. So
Wes only has negative net rating splits with Wara, Smart, and TA. So all the rotation players in Wes have won. Yeah. Exactly.
So they're losing garbage time minutes.
Yeah. And winning everything else.
Hey, and that's what matters. And you know what else matters to winning?
What?
All-star. Jrue Holiday, all-star.
And Giannis. And Khris and Bobby.
And Giannis and Khris and Bobby. If Bobby makes it onto this all-star team, what should we say? What should we say?
Would Bobby be an all-star in the West? I don't think so. I think Wiggins still makes it, but
I mean, he has a case.
He has a case. He has a better case in the West.
He has like the same case as like Harrison Barnes. He might have
better case than Harrison Barnes.
Does he have the same case as Ayton?
I don't think so, but I don't think so. The look on your face.
Are we sure about that?
We're not sure, but I don't think so.
Just
okay. Something to digest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but we should actually say something we should do if Bobby Portis is an all-star.
Should we sing a song?
We will get certain pictures of
oh my god. Okay, so did I drink from a champagne bottle on New Year's
I wasn't
Eve?
Gonna say it. I wasn't going to say it.
Yes, I did. Rohan wants me to leak the pictures. Bobby Portis makes all-star team. I'll tweet the picture of just me. It was a tough scene in the Windisch household. That's all I'll say. The next morning, oh my god, the headache, legendary. I tweeted on New Year's Day the great Giannis face. I think he knocked down a 3 late in the game against the Pelicans, the nice win. And I tweeted when the NYE hangover headache finally subsides. I tweeted it for a reason, folks. Don't drink champagne. It's never worth it. But yeah, we have some good picks.
Hey, props to you for actually saying. I was just gonna delete.
Well, you teed it up. I can't just leave it off. So I guess everyone go vote Bobby.
Do you want to let us know if you want us to sing a song or have those pictures? I think I know people can pick.
It's probably all for naught, but
we'll see. Or one of those we do if Bobby makes it. One of them we do if Bobby doesn't.
I don't know about that. Let's not get carried away. We can set some other goals here.
Okay, no, I'm kidding. But
if you want us to do stupid stuff, we would let us know, and then we can figure out something else, maybe something more realistic to actually unlock these things.
For sure. But yeah, I think if we're talking about that, I think it's time to wrap up this episode of the Gyro Step.
Before we turn into Jackass the podcast.
Say thank you for listening. Make sure you're subscribed on your podcast platform of choice. Subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the Substack. Leave a 5-star rating on Apple and Spotify. And if you want to leave a review on Apple, or if you're on Spotify, you can email it to gyrosteppod@gmail.com. But Ty, do we have a review to read out?
We do. We're starting to run low, so definitely keep sending them in. But we do have a new review from Fresh Pav, or Pav. I think Pav. 5 stars, of course. And the title is You Can't Find Anything Wrong With It, a podcast about the Milwaukee Bucks organization of the National Basketball Association. This is a verifiable fact.
It is a fact.
This is what Fresh Pav says. My most listened to podcast of 2021, and it's that for a reason. The quality banter between Rohan and Ty is the stuff I look forward to between my 3 jobs, other than my other things that I also have to look forward to, which fair. I'm glad it's not just us. That's not ideal. Back to the thing. A must if you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan, but even if you're a Tampa Bay Bucks or an Ohio State Bucks, or even if you don't like podcasts about any sort surrounding the never-ending scope of the word Bucks, it's still worth the listen. If I could give more stars, I would, but for now, I'll just write a lengthy review. Cheers. That's a great review.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for being dedicated to the podcast. I'm glad you enjoy it, first and foremost. Thank you for the review. Oh, that's
good luck at the 3 jobs.
Keep grinding.
Yeah.
We're staying on that grind too. Don't you worry. But that just brightened my mood.
I love the reviews are so fun. Send in more reviews, please.
So wholesome.
And like I said in the last pod, we invented Spotify reviews. They only have ratings, but if you screenshot your 5-star rating on Spotify, email it to us, gyrosteppod@gmail.com, or tweet it at us. we'll read your Spotify review. Spotify doesn't have the technology, but we do here at the Gyro Step.
Yes, we do. Make sure you keep leaving those, keep coming in, because it's honestly awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support. We are hoping to have a fantastic 2022, and we hope you can all be there for the journey along with us. Thank you guys again for listening. Go Bucks. We'll talk to you next time.